Good day folks, Sean here from Air Photography. So just a quick little video for you today. DJI has recently launched the Mavic 4 Pro, and alongside of it they've launched the RC Pro 2. And we're just going to do a test flight today with the Mini 4 Pro. A lot of people are really happy that DJI has released this new controller with a larger screen, a much brighter screen. They're going to be using it to fly with their Air 3, Air 3S, even the Mini 4 Pro. Now, whether it's worthwhile purchasing the RC Pro 2, if you're flying the Mini 4 Pro only, is going to be up to the individual user. The RC Pro 2 has a fairly substantial price tag, but I think for some people it still may be worthwhile just for that larger screen and the ability to easily rotate and film in vertical. So yeah, with all that said, let's just get the drone up in the air and we'll go for a quick flight. Got some trees above me here, so I will have to be careful. And we're going to switch it over to video mode. And we'll start recording. We'll just record in 4K 30 for now. That should be sufficient. So, there we go. We'll put the drone up. Beautiful day out today. Landscape has changed quite a bit in the last couple of weeks. Everything was kind of dead out here a couple weeks ago when I was filming, and there's a train going by, so let's go see what's up over there. So I really like flying with a 7-inch screen. It just makes it so much easier to frame your shots, and that bright screen is really nice. I used to fly with my iPad Mini. The problem with iPad Minis, or even iPhones in general, is that, you know, they start out bright enough, but their sustained brightness isn't very much. So, you know, you're flying, and then as the device gets warmer, it gets darker and darker. And it used to be, I don't know with the new iPhones, because I haven't really flown with them, but, you know, after a while, sometimes you couldn't even see what you were trying to film, like the screen was that dark. So it's really nice that DJI has this nice bright screen now, and a large screen. It's really, really nice. There were some swans over in the water there earlier. I might fly over there in a minute, and we'll see if they're still there or not. And the other nice thing is that this controller has a built-in microphone and, you know, of course, noise cancellation. Now, right now I'm filming the point of view shot on the DJI Osmo Action 5 Pro. I got the DJI Mic 2 connected to it via Bluetooth. But it's nice that there's audio embedded in both the screen recording and in the HD file as well. It just makes editing and syncing up the footage a lot easier when there's audio cues that you can line up. So that's actually a really nice feature as well. I don't know if I'll use the built-in microphone all that much. You know, I quite often have my DJI mic with me anyway, so sometimes I'll just record on it, using it like a field recorder. But that train's going really slow. But it is a nice feature, and I know a lot of people are going to make use of it, especially now that you can record, embed audio right into the HD file. And let's turn around and go back here. And have the noise reduction enabled. That's going to make the audio quite a bit more usable. Yeah, the swans were actually past that second bridge back there, so maybe let's go for a flight there. We'll pop it into sport mode, and we'll head over that way, see if we can still see them. Now, the other really nice thing about this controller is that if you're a person who films for social media, we can easily just rotate the screen, and as you can see, the Fly app updates to that new format, so all your critical information is still accessible. You can easily see it, you can change your settings, and everything is lined up nicely. It'll be easier to frame shots with that nice large preview in the proper format. Now, not everybody films in vertical, so not everybody's going to make use of that feature, but it is really nice. Let's start recording again. And yeah, we'll just continue on here. I don't know what flipping it vertically while I was doing a screen recording in horizontal, if that's going to mess everything up, but I'll fix it in post if it does. Now, another question I've been asked about the RC2 Pro when using it with something like the Air 3S, Air 3, or Mini 4 Pro is, does it have that dynamic home point feature? And I don't believe it does. I think it's something that they could perhaps add in a future firmware update, but let's just actually check that here. We'll go to our settings. We'll go to our home point. And no, you can see there, it doesn't give us the option for dynamic home point there at the top. Okay, so let's go back to the regular view, just so it'll be easier to see. So yeah, that's really nice, being able to switch back and forth to vertical just on the fly. And you don't have to rotate the screen. You can still use just the button there on the screen or on the controller. You can go back to vertical if you prefer flying it that way. So you have both options. Now, a lot of people might be concerned about the size of the RC2 Pro, if it's going to be uncomfortable to hold. And personally, I haven't found that. It feels a little different at first when you first start flying with it. You know, you do have, there's a little bit of a learning curve there, I guess, like just, you know, compared to what you're used to. But you adapt to it very quickly. You know, it's not uncomfortable. It's not top heavy. That top screen, the way they've built it, is extremely light, so you don't feel like the controller's tipping all the time. You know, sometimes when you mount big tablets on a controller, you know, they can feel a little top heavy, but it's, in my opinion, it's extremely comfortable to hold. You'd be very happy with it that way. So we got 69% battery, so we're still good there. The swans were straight ahead. Let's get in a little closer, see if they're still there. I think I see them off in the distance, that little white speck. And being able to utilize this controller with multiple drones, and I assume new drones that DJI perhaps might release in the future, you know, it's nice that way. I'm not sure if they're going to add compatibility to some older drones. You know, there's always that possibility. But we'll see and wait what DJI does. Yeah, there's the swans there in the middle. I'm not going to get too close to them. I don't want to disrupt them. If I had the Mavic 4 Pro, I'd be able to zoom right in on them. But yeah, we'll just kind of get a little closer here and then getting a weak signal. I got some trees kind of in front of me here, so that's probably why. So yeah, I probably shouldn't go any further. I don't want to chance a disconnect. Yeah, well, there we go. We just lost signal. But not to worry. That's the nice thing about DJI drones, is that it'll just go into an automatic return to home. And while it's flying back to me, it'll just automatically reconnect. So, you know, you never have to be stressed about that. If you're brand new, you're just learning to fly drones, and you're flying out, your drone becomes disconnected from the controller. Don't worry, you'll notice here any minute now it'll reconnect, and there we go there. So that's one nice thing about DJI drones. They're extremely reliable in that aspect. But yeah, I think that's good enough for testing. We'll just let the drone come on home. Essentially, I just wanted to do a demonstration of flying the Mini 4 Pro with this new controller. If you want to see a demonstration flying the Air 3S with the controller, let me know in the comments and I'll do that as well. I can't do the Air 3 because I don't own it anymore. I sold it once I got the Air 3S, so, but essentially they're pretty similar. So let me know if you would like to see that. And another question I've been asked is if the controller can fit inside the Air 3S case. And yes, indeed it can. It actually fits nicely in there. However, once it's in there, it's very difficult to get the charging hub in as well. It will go in, but it's extremely tight. So, you know, in those situations, actually I'm going to stop that just because there's a lot of trees there. I don't want it to come down into a tree. Going back, yeah, it's extremely tight. You can get the charging hub in, but it's, you know, you got to really wiggle it in. Ideally, you're just best to take the batteries out of the charging hub, because then they will slip in with no issue at all. So yeah, folks, that is just a quick flight with the Mini 4 Pro and the DJI RC2 Pro. Hopefully you enjoyed this video and found it had value. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.